13 WMAZ Morning starts now.
Well, this picture of the Georgia National Fairgrounds is going to be looking much different tomorrow morning. We've got rain chances on the rise. We'll map it out on Future View coming up.
A cigar, it's what one Macon woman says led to her getting attacked. The suspect investigators believe is behind the assault.
Plus, a new program coming to the city of Warner Robins. The two problems the city hopes it will help with.
And Otis Redding's birthday celebrations are set to happen in Macon this weekend. Hear from the Dock of the Bay singer's grandson about all the excitement coming to the city.
Well, good morning. Happy Thursday. You are looking live over the fairgrounds down in Perry. The time is 6:31 on this September 8th. I'm Caitlin Heck.
And I'm Wanye Reese. Walking out the door this morning, it's seeming very nice, but we know, hey, all good things must come to an end at some point.
That's right. To be fair, Alex, you've been warning us all week.
Yes, but all good things have to come back one way or another, too. So we will have the dry weather returning at least at some point over the next 7 days. But today is going to be a transitional day for us. So yesterday, mainly dry across the area. Tomorrow is going to be very wet. Today, we are somewhere in between with the air mass changing here over central Georgia. 70 degrees in Macon, 70 in Warner Robins, 71 in Cochran, 69 waking up in Jasper County, and 68 waking up in Upson County this morning. You look down towards the south, down near Apalachicola, some showers beginning to develop. This is the moisture that's going to be pulled northward into central Georgia as we head through the day today by way of this front that's going to flip course, turn towards the north, and again pull this moisture towards the north as well. So the temperatures today not going to be quite as warm, talking about the 80s into the afternoon hours, eventually a high temperature of about 86 with a 70% chance of storms. That does mean a 30% chance of staying dry. Sunrise is at 7:14 this morning. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll talk about the scattered storms we have on the way for today and the changes for tomorrow. How does today look different from tomorrow, and how does the weekend shaping up? All those details are coming your way here in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Alex. We have an update to a story of a Macon woman allegedly attacked over a cigar.
That's right. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office says they've now arrested the man they believe is behind the attack. They were able to take him into custody around 6:30 last night. Our own Ashlyn Webb was getting ready to go live outside the Citgo on Bloomfield Road when the man walked by. So she went ahead and dialed 911. You see the man there wearing the same clothes he had on when he reportedly attacked Danielle Finney.
Now, Finney says this happened Tuesday afternoon as she went to fill up her car at the gas station. She says as she got out of her car, a man asked if she could buy him a cigar. She told him she didn't have the money. Finney says she got back in her car to grab her keys. That's when the man hit her. We have more details on this story on 13WMAZ.com.
This morning, a woman is in jail after a shooting last month, that left a 3-year-old hurt. That's one of 3 other headlines that you need to know. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office says 20-year-old Brianna Sneed turned herself in to the U.S. Marshals Tuesday. She faces 3 counts of aggravated assault and is being held without bond. The shooting happened on August the 18th in the 2300th block of Danbury Drive. The Sheriff's Office says they got a report that a mom took her child to a hospital after someone shot the 3-year-old. The mother told deputies that Sneed shot at her friend's car, hitting the toddler. Records from the Sheriff's Office show Sneed's been in and out of jail over the past 2 years.
Well, just walk away. That is the message a Macon group has as they look to address the rising number of homicides in Bibb County. The group is called Changing Mindsets. They're recruiting local leaders to get on board with their mission and help guide the next generation away from gun violence. They've put up signs at gas stations, barbershops, churches, even rec centers, anywhere that teens will see them. The latest addition to their posters, Macon's top prosecutor, District Attorney Anita Howard. Howard says she's involved to help save lives on both sides of the conflict.
We have someone who is deceased, but we also have someone who is being found guilty of murder, who is getting a life without the possibility of parole sentence. So we have 2 lives lost.
The group's next event is next Saturday, September 17th at Lizzie Chapel Baptist Church. The town hall happens at 10 that morning and features D.A. Howard, Bibb County Coroner Leon Jones, and several Macon pastors. Well, Warner Robins hopes a new part-time patrol officer program will help fix an uptick of crime in the city, as well as staffing shortages in their police department.
Mayor LaRhonda Patrick announced the initiative this week. The city says it will make policing positions more accessible to a broader range of candidates. That includes an alternative for retired officers who want to continue their service. The city says part-timers must be post-certified. Once sworn in, they can start patrolling alongside full-time officers.
They'll then go through an extra 18-week orientation. Mayor Patrick and Police Chief John Wagner plan to give more details about the program in the next few weeks. That includes a public safety day that will be an application opportunity for potential new officers.
It's now 6:35. Let's get a check of your state news. Grady Hospital up in Atlanta will soon get some financial relief. It comes as another hospital in the city gets ready to close its doors. Fulton County announced yesterday that they plan to make a special one-time payment of $11 million to Grady Health System. County leaders approved to speed up that process to get the funds delivered. It's in an effort to offset increasing money pressures expected ahead of Atlanta Medical Center's closure. Wellstar Health System recently announced that Atlanta Medical Center plans on stopping operations in just a couple of months in November. Well, today a judge is expected to sentence an ex-Atlanta City employee convicted on several counts in a federal corruption trial. Back in March, a jury found former Atlanta City Director of Human Services, Mitzi Vickers, guilty on 9 of the 12 counts she faced. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reports that sentencing was originally scheduled for July, but it got moved to today.
Oh, one of Georgia's U.S. senators has tested positive for COVID-19. John Ossoff's campaign says he tested positive while leading economic delegations in India. They say he's isolating in the country and experiencing mild symptoms. They expect the lawmaker to be back in Washington, D.C. for business in the Senate next week. In election headlines, Georgia's other U.S. Senator, Democrat Raphael Warnock, and Republican challenger Herschel Walker may be getting closer to debating in the state's U.S. Senate race. Warnock said yesterday that he will participate in a debate that Walker prefers if Walker agrees to do another debate that Warnock wants. In June, Warnock challenged Walker to debates in Atlanta, Macon, and Savannah. Walker instead accepted an invitation to a different October 14th debate in Savannah. Warnock now says he will do that debate if Walker agrees to forego knowing question topics in advance and commits to either the Macon or Atlanta forums.
From festivals to fishing to fair food coupons, it's all happening in Central Georgia this weekend. We'll catch you up on the events that you can check out. Man, that tease has me interested. Plus, a wheelchair competition giving one vet a newfound purpose. We hear why he loves to compete and how adaptive games are helping those like him. Well, the time is now 6:37 a.m. here on your Thursday morning. Alex, I think the headline for this weekend is that it doesn't seem like it's going to be a total washout, but rain is definitely going to be in our future for sure.
Just plan to stay inside if you can.
Yeah, I think Sunday is probably the day where it won't be a total washout, but Friday and Saturday we're going to be looking at off and on rain through the day. And when it's not raining, it's going to be overcast. And one of those days where it's just going to be like, you look outside, you're not going to see that. That's for sure.
I wish I could see that.
Yes, exactly. This is a look down in Jacksonville Beach this morning where the sun is coming up down there. If you're not looking at your TV screen, take a minute and soak that in for a second because you can't look out your window and see that this morning. There it is. There, the sun, of course, comes up there just a few minutes earlier than it does here in Central Georgia. Our temperatures here in Central Georgia, we've got 70 in Macon and in Warner Robins, 72 in Dublin, and 72 to get the morning started in Milledgeville, 71 in Gray, 68 up the road in Forsyth, 71 in Roberta, and 70 down in Hawkinsville. Some more 70s down to the south as well. Now, technically, we've got this front draped across Central Georgia right now. What that's going to do today is actually reverse course, become a warm front, and move towards the north, pulling this moisture that's down in Florida, where we were just looking live, towards the north. So where we were looking there in Jacksonville, they've got some rain moving in here over the next 30 minutes to an hour or so. We're going to be seeing rain moving in over the next few hours here in Central Georgia. So here we are this morning, mainly dry, a few scattered showers by the time we get to the noon hour, mainly down towards the south. Then once we get into the afternoon hours, this is when we begin to bubble up the activity a lot like a summertime day. But the difference is for today, and namely tonight, is we're going to have this activity linger around past sunset. Here we are at 9 p.m., some storms potentially down towards the south, and then through the overnight hours, waves of rain will begin. There we are at about 7 a.m., some scattered showers up towards the north, also down towards the south, and then through the day on Friday, you can see some steadier rain developing, and this model is keeping this around through the afternoon hours. So here we are at 5 p.m. Tailgating getting underway for the high school football games here. Again, scattered showers across the area where it's not raining, it's overcast. We'll roll those through during the evening hours, and I think we'll still see a few more showers than what this model is showing by about midnight on Saturday. So a 70% chance of rain today. That's at 80% for tomorrow, back to 70% for Saturday, and then 40% for Sunday and for Monday. And we could pick up a lot of rainfall. Look at this legend up here. Once you get into these purples, you're talking about north of 1.5 inches. The darker purples north of 2 inches. So I'm going with 2 to 4 inches across the area, with of course there's higher amounts as you get closer towards Interstate 95 over the next 7 days. Meanwhile, today our temperatures here in Central Georgia not warming up all that much, hanging around in the 70s through about 11 a.m. and then into the 80s and topping off somewhere in the mid 80s through the afternoon hours. I'm going with 86 here for Macon, a 70% chance of rain. That does mean a 30% chance of staying dry, with those scattered storms around sunrise officially here in Macon is at 7:14. The next 3 days are also wet, of course, as we just just saw on Future View, an 80% chance of rain on Friday, a high temperature of 78. That's close to 10 degrees below the average high for tomorrow. And then 81 for Saturday, 82 for Sunday. I think the only day where we really have a chance of seeing any sun would be on Sunday itself. But then once we get into next week, we see this drying trend continue with the temperatures not warming up all that much. So a 40% chance of rain on Monday, 20% on Tuesday, completely gone on Wednesday. Should have lower humidity on Wednesday with a high temperature of about 84. So all in all, we are trending in the right direction as we get into next week. This would be Wednesday would be the coolest day we've seen without a rain chance in quite a while here in central Georgia. We're coming back right after the break.